Good evening. My name is Sylvia West. Today I'd like to share with you why I feel that we should defund sanctuary cities. In July of 2015, you may have heard news of a 32-year-old woman named Kate Steinle who was shot and killed by Juan Francisco Lopez Sanchez, an undocumented illegal immigrant. This is someone who has several felony charges in the United States and has been identified by local police as an undocumented immigrant, but was never turned over to Immigration and Custom Enforcement agents, or as ICE, as you may know them or refer to them as. And this was in large part due to the sanctuary laws that San Francisco holds. Now, there are currently about 40 million immigrants in the United States today, and of those 40 million, I would say that approximately about 11 million are undocumented immigrants, just like Juan Lopez Sanchez. They are hiding in the shadows that these sanctuary cities have, in essence, created for them. Many of these undocumented immigrants have felony charges, are involved in gangs, have weapons charges, drug charges, have been charged with both physical and sexual assaults. We must defund these cities that choose to ignore the laws, and hopefully this will get their attention and help them realize that for every action there is a reaction. Our country right now more than ever needs to come together in solidarity. We need for the U.S. cities to comply with these federal laws. I don't want to be a political pawn. We shouldn't be political pawns in this. And I just wish that these officials would realize that they are allowing these fugitives to continue to roam our streets, schools, hospitals, and our common areas. It's only hurting us, the American citizens. If cities listen to the actual citizens, they would realize that most of Americans, like you and I, are in support of following federal law and turning these illegal immigrants in. But instead, these sanctuary jurisdictions refuse to comply with the detainer requests that ICE has put forward, and they continue to harbor these illegal immigrants. Now, you're going to hear from liberals about those who oppose sanctuary cities, how they're racist, but this couldn't be farther from the truth. In fact, most Hispanics agree with detainer laws. These are people much like my parents who immigrated here from Colombia, who respect the United States and want to not only take from what our country has to offer, but also give back to our country. You may hear that these immigrants are good people, they just want jobs and a better life. Well, I was always taught that good people don't break the law. You'll be told that these sanctuary cities are good for local law enforcement. They promote community unity between the citizens and these immigrants because they don't fear being turned into ICE. And they're more likely to report crimes and not fear the law enforcement. And am I the only one that sees something wrong with that? These are the criminals. They actually need to turn themselves in. You might even be at some point told that illegal immigrants have rights under the 10th Amendment. Don't ask, don't tell. Congress cannot force states or cities to send them immigration status information on any of their residents. Basically, they have chosen not to comply with these types of mandates, and they feel like they aren't obligated, but they do have a moral obligation to us legal citizens, and they've fallen short on protecting people like Kate Steinle. I'm sure everyone has his or her opinion on how they feel that this there could be a solution. However, there are actions that our country can take, and they can put an end to this type of illegal immigration. And defunding these states and those that choose to be part of the resistance is the first step. The Department of Justice clearly outlines that most recipients of grant money must comply with all federal laws. We need to stop fighting the strengthening of our borders, because through border strength, we will see a decrease in illegal immigrants. Also, releasing a detailed report from ICE about criminal aliens that have been released by these sanctuary cities may help. If the public, if you and I are able to hear and see what is really going on, this will be, I think that people will be more inclined to demand compliance by our local officials in order to detain these criminals for ICE. Now that I've explained to you the problem, I'm going to ask you to go out and educate yourself. I'm not asking you to only take my word. I brought you a few facts. Now you can go ahead and take a look deeper. Research what a sanctuary city is and how and if it benefits America. We must demand that these cities make a statement. We must defund these cities and make a statement that Americans will not stand as second-class citizens to illegal immigrants.